On the Mark Tribe fans, you guys know that as a golf teacher deep down, I love a training aid that you can hit golf shots with. And a very kind man, you're looking at him right now, Noah Wolf. I reached out on social media, this tour aim. I reached out to him and he said, yeah, let's hook you up. Here it is. I've got you on the line. Noah, welcome to the show. Thanks so much, man. How you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me. Very excited to be here.
Oh, well, look, this thing for the folks looking, it's as simple as this, and I love its name. It's the Swiss Army knife of alignment aids or alignment training aids, because it does a lot, and I'm jacked to talk about it. But before we go there, tell us a bit about Noah Wolf. How did you come, or where did you come from to end up designing golf training aids?
So I'm an engineer by trade. I'm from Montana originally, and grew up playing golf, and went to a 2-year college down in Texas to play golf, and then quickly realized that my golf game wasn't gonna to make me a living. So I was like, well, how can I do kind of golf, and how can I kind of get into that business? And uh, you know, the idea was always to kind of get an engineering degree and hopefully go work for one of the golf companies. So I got into engineering, graduated from Montana State, and then got into the aerospace industry. And
Really?
I've been working a block away from Titleist for the last 15 years. So I'm down here in Carlsbad, and just the aerospace industry has been a little better than getting into the golf industry, I guess. But now here I am in the golf industry. So
And we were talking off the air. This tour aim is doing really well. I shouldn't date this because it's a podcast and it lives in the internet for forever, basically. But you're lining up your best month ever in terms of sales, and it's so much sense. I want to talk about this thing. Now, this is only a portion of it for the folks that are watching. That's what it is. Mine is custom made with my On the Mark logo, and that makes it even cooler. And then it comes with 4 alignment rods, and you can get replacements and stuff like that. First, talk about the inspiration for this tour aim, because for
yeah,
me, and I'm just going to give you my gripe, and for all the fans listening to this, I consider them very informed. They want to do the game better. I find so many folks missing on basics like ball position, like alignment, understanding the planes of the golf swing, where this highly portable little thing you carry in your golf bag sort of eliminates some of that. So talk to me about the inspiration.
yeah. So I we joined La Costa down here a little over 2 years ago, kind of during COVID, and I finally started to get to play a little bit more golf, and I was constantly going to the range in the morning on the way to work or on the way home, and was just mindlessly beating balls, and then I go to the course and I'd lose even more balls. And so as an engineer, and as a process quality guy, I was like, well, why is this happening? And so I kind of just stopped and started thinking about it, and realized that when I was going from the range to the course, my brain thoughts were changing more to things like aim, target, alignment, and I just simply wasn't practicing those things on the range. And then I was like, okay, well, why am I not practicing those things? Well, because really the only device out there to help with the aim and alignment is an alignment stick, and guess what? They're a pain in the ass to use. And unless you're a disciplined tour player, 0.911% of the population out there, you just don't have the time or discipline to effectively use an alignment stick. And so that was kind of all right. So how do we make that easier to do? And that was kind of the birth of Tour Aim. So I got a piece of wood, drilled some holes in it, and I was like, oh, well, here we go. And all of a sudden, it just immediately changed how I practiced. I was becoming a disciplined range player. Every range ball was focused on aim, target, alignment,
Mm.
and then I knew if I hit it right or left, it wasn't because my aim was off. And so it became evident, that we were kind of onto something here. And really, what we ended up uh, solving was that 100-year-old problem of why do I hit it so good on the range, but when I go to the course, I hit it like crap. And well, because you're just not practicing and thinking about aim, target alignment when you're on the range. You're just swinging, you know?
What I want to highlight, you talk about the discipline on the range, and a lot of folks, they just go there and it's just aimless, mindless sort of hitting. There's never any real involvement. And I've seen folks lay the alignment rod down, but they still don't pay much attention to the thing. They just hit anyway. You spoke about how you drilled holes in wood. Well, this thing now is kind of a plastic material, thoroughly durable, and it can fit in a golf bag. Um, I I want to go further with this and just have your personal testimonial, because I was reading your website, and just by focusing and practicing properly with this thing, you have sliced your handicap more than in half by being disciplined and using this to practice properly whenever you get the time to.
Yeah, absolutely. I was when I joined Lacoste, I was up in the 12 handicap range, and and now I'm down to five, uh, and it's just evident that every shot is starting with, okay, where am I aimed, where am I lying, and even if I mishit it, at least it's going on my line more times than not now, and so yeah. But also, by putting that alignment rod in the center there, where we call our true target alignment,
Mhm.
um, it's easier to stand behind your target and see um, through the other way down.
All right, right.
Yeah,
Bring,
yeah,
yeah,
that's the putting configuration.
yeah,
Yeah, so that it's easy to stand behind your target and see something in it, but as soon as you turn to the side and now you're looking at your target like this, you have to really train your eyes and your brain how to see down that target line,
mhm.
and that's what that rod down the center really helps with. And then when you get to the course, okay, now you're kind of already trained your brain and your eyes how to see down your target line and where you're aimed in the line. So
That's
um,
that's such a good point to bring up, and I want to mine this a little further, because I've given countless lessons where I use alignment rods and I sort of build them like field goal posts or soccer posts, wherever you are in the world listening to this, down the
yep,
target line 10, 15 feet ahead of you. And then I make the golfer look down the ball and target line, and they see it. But then when you stand parallel to the side of the golf ball, the target looks to the left of where the goalposts are. So then
yep,
in the back of your mind, you're aiming at this bad idea, parallax, I guess it is,
yep,
of the target, where this thing now, as you set it down there, it shows you exactly where the target line is.
yeah,
I think more and more players will stretch rope along the ground or whatever. But again, this is just so portable and just so
right.
functional.
Yeah, and then once it's set up like that, you can change that target in a matter of seconds. If you put that rope down or you put another stick out there, then you're sitting there realigning everything, and this keeps it all together. And yeah, literally, we've removed the time consuming aspect of using string or alignment sticks by themselves.
Okay, here's the beauty of this, folks. You can use it as you're hitting. Where I first found this on social media, Noah, when I messaged you, and you were very quick to respond, I'm thankful. Um, where it was, if you look at it, folks, on YouTube or wherever you're watching this, it's got this gate over here in the middle. For the folks that are listening, imagine those little gates that you see all the good players putting through, and you stick them down your line. This has a gate, and you could stick rods through the top here. So you're essentially making tracks and stuff to putt through, and you focusing on your start line. I'm like, this is good because it's painting pictures. I guess the story I'm getting to here is that you can use this for full shots. You can use it for chipping, pitching, bunker play. This is multifunctional and all the way to the green as well.
Yeah, yeah, and that was another thought when we were going through designing this is like, a lot of golf training aids are big, bulky. They only focus on one aspect of the game. You have to strap them to your body, and whatever.
Yeah.
And what I really wanted to do was create one training aid that will help you in all aspects of the game, and be cool to be seen using it. There's a lot of training aids that you don't want to be seen using because it's it just, that mentality of, hey, if I be seen using this, that
Look
means
like
there's
Tin
something
Cup.
wrong with my game.
You look like
And
Tin
so,
Cup. Hey, okay, so let's go through all of its features, shall we? And I'm going to let you sort of guide me a little bit. I'll be honest with you, I'm still learning, and each time It's been living. I haven't got it to the course just yet. It's living in my living room right now, on my perfect practice putting mat, and I've had it set up in the putting function. So why don't we start there? And so I'm using this gate. I've got the alignment rod that sticks through here, and then the two that stick through the bottom. So you make parallel lines and a line over the top that you can actually swing your putter underneath. So you can see lines of stroke, and then if the ball comes out on line, it goes through that little gate.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that one, and then let's move to the other functions, and I'll do my best to try and show the example for the folks watching this one.
Yeah. So the putting gate feature is a nice feature on there, and it's definitely helped a lot of people's putting. And what's nice about the parallel tracks, whether you putt on an arc or straight back, straight forward, you can do both. But it really gets your body and your eyes and looking down that target line again and exactly there. And so, there's a lot of devices, mirrors and such that work from the ground up. But then your putter is raising, then your putter and your body position is about, eighth to quarter inch off of where it normally would be. And with this, it's kind of like, people put string lines down or whatever on the putting green. But again, not a lot of people have time to do that unless you're a pro. And with this, it accomplishes the same thing. You can work on your eye line over the ball, and also be able to see down your target line, and move it to, new targets in a matter of seconds, so you don't have to pick up and move your string around, and so forth.
As I count here, folks, I'm going to miss them all, but there are multiple holes in this little apparatus. You can see the gate, obviously. Was the gate an original inclusion, or did this come after your prototype that you made out of wood?
Yeah, you know what? It kind of was included originally. And yeah, for some reason, the only thing that was kind of after the fact was the swing alignment, that we can talk about. And we're like, well, let's just, anything that we just kind of reviewed everything that we've seen drills with alignment sticks done and incorporated into this one device.
Okay. So we've talked about the target line one. That's the one that sticks through this thing along the ground. Then you can add extras on either side, the alignment rods. Again, there are 4 of them. So you can see the target line and then see lines that you could use for body alignment and such like that. Is that our next step for the alignment?
Yep. So we got 4 sets of holes there we got the 2 on the closest to the center hole, and then the 2 farther ones. And the 2 in the closest ones there were originally designed to be, to help with chipping and pitching. And I every time I talk to somebody about that, aim and alignment and chipping and pitching is probably one of the most under talked about things. You just don't see people practicing aim and alignment during chipping.
I want to stop you for a minute there, because as a golf teacher, swing path for the golf data junkies, swing path, club face alignment, angle of attack, those are very important deep plane items. And whereas they're important on full shots, to me, the alignment or the swing path and the angle of attack are even more appropriate on the shorter greenside pitches, bunker shots and stuff, because you have less time to make athletic compensation during the swing. So your point here about these 2 over here, I'll try and get this right. So the 2 outside ones right there and right there, they so nicely illustrate the line of the shot. So you can see how your club's swinging on and off that path. And if you're doing right, you're going to essentially, like a pilot, land your club on this runway that's down there in front of you.
Yeah. And then as it got started using more and more, a lot of the better players actually like taking full shots out of that configuration, because they like that even narrower, runway path that it establishes. So
in terms of width, it's what, it's a couple 3
inches,
inches,
5 inches, but 5 inches between those 2 holes there. Yeah.
So it's a pretty tight area to go and land your golf swing in. But for advanced golfers who want to improve, it's a good place to practice. Then moving out, as we look here, in fact, they're on the other side of the apparatus as well. The 2 widest ones, the 2 outside holes, they also will make lines that are parallel to the target line.
Those
ones are used for?
Yeah, just your full swing, in your typical alignment stick drill, where you put 1 down for your foot line, and one down that's supposed to be your target line, but it's not really your target line because it's outside your target line. You're not hitting from there, and so it just kind of helps establish that hitting box. And one of the real cool things that we've gotten out of this is, for our junior golfers in our junior golf clinics, just setting this up. Now you've created, hey kids, don't hit outside of this box right here. And by the way,
Greenkeeper's loving you.
I'm also working on your aim and alignment at the same time, which are like two of the hardest things to teach teach juniors. So you're keeping them safe, you're teaching them aim and alignment, and so it's been a real cool feature that we've seen come out of it.
And the superintendents are loving you because you're keeping divot patterns centralized.
Yeah, and that became even immediately more prevalent. It literally forces you to take linear divot patterns, and then people are going to do that because guess what? Tour aim is really easy to shift over and move to a new target in a matter of seconds. So they can just shift it over, just shift it over, just shift it over. Where to get driving range, the average driving range player to do that, they just don't, because they'd have to pick up their alignment sticks, move them over to a new target, and they just don't have time or want to spend the time doing that.
To highlight that, because if you're using more than one alignment rod, then there's the challenge of getting these things parallel, and you're over the one and the other one looks crooked. You slide them through these horizontal areas, and this thing is sturdy. It's not going anywhere. So you just lift up the whole mechanism when you need to move around. And so you essentially put the rods in there and you're on your way.
Yeah. Or just hit it with your club. Just tap it with your club and it'll move over. So
okay. Now we're getting to the fancy stuff. You see those two holes there? Let's say I and W for the folks on YouTube. Again, see cool on the mark here. Those ones, you actually stick the alignment rod in so it sits at an angle. This is looks like a 45-degree angle or so to me over here.
Yep.
This, folks, is for those folks who want to focus on the swing plane of the golf swing. So you set this down on the ground. It holds the alignment rod at an angle. So you don't have to be jamming this thing into the ground, this alignment rod. It just makes life so easy. And you can do that and use it on either side of your golf swing.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And, the cool thing too is that this is ambidextrous. You can just turn it around and it works for left-handers too. So it's kind of just ingenious how that all came together. And so it's the swing plane was definitely, you see a lot of videos out there and people either wedging them into the ground or putting them in the range bucket. And guess what? If you hit an alignment stick that's wedged into the ground, one or two things are going to happen. Your alignment stick's going to break, or the club is, because the earth isn't going to move. And if you hit it with this, just the tour aim just gets slightly moved out of the way, so it's a nice safety feature there too as well.
I've seen a golfer, speaking of that thing in the ground, that had it stuck in the ground, misunderstanding how to do it, and they hit the alignment rod mid downswing with their leading wrist, and that was painful injury that was done.
Yeah. And then there's not a lot of devices in the indoor golf industry that can hold alignment sticks as well. So this is really big in indoor and teaching, and then also a lot of the other swing plane devices that are out there don't incorporate the alignment aspects as well. They're mainly just meant to hold the alignment stick at an angle. So this incorporates a true target alignment, incorporates the box hitting. You can easily slide the rods to work on your front swing plane or your back swing plane. So there's just so many different ways you can use this, and that's why I think a lot of teaching pros love it. A lot of the just golfers are seeing the benefits of it, and it just makes sense.
Teaching pro surely loves this thing, and I highly advocate it. Again, I love aids you can hit full shots with. I really do. Okay, at the risk of sounding really ignorant, Noah, these two, I'll call them swing plane holes, the ones that hold the alignment rod at an angle. The one's listed as W and the other one's I. Is there a special meaning behind that?
Yeah, so one is for woods and one is for iron. So it is hard to everybody's swing plane is a little different, but this is more of to give you an indication, not to be exact. Or there's other devices if you need more of an exact swing plane, but we kind of did some research and found that those two angles will work for the 95 percentile of all golfers out there, and for the most part, it does.
So then so the Woods angle would have the alignment rod at more of almost a horizontal
Yeah,
angle, and the irons
yeah,
more vertical for the more upright, plane.
yep, yep, yep.
It's truly a sensational device, and you slip it in your golf bag. You keep the alignment rods in there anyway. It comes with a handy little alignment rod cover, so you don't ding your drivers with the things too. Is there anything I missed? Because the more I look at it, the more I fiddle around with it, the more I talk to you, the more I realize that, dang, this thing, I was looking at it just for putting, and now all of a sudden it's touching everything.
Yeah, there's literally, I haven't seen one drill that has been made up with an alignment stick that this can't do. It you can hold it upright like that and put it through one of those bottom closer holes, and you can kind of do like kind of like the inside approach type training device. They're just, I really haven't found anything that this can't do.
Well, it's real easy to do. When the folks get there's a QR code you can just scan, takes you straight to the website with essentially a tutorial on how to use the thing. It's the first thing I did, but I'll be honest, I'm that guy that doesn't really read manuals. So when this thing arrived in the mail, I just stuck it like I saw on your social media, where it was
Yeah,
a cutting device with a gate and the alignment rod over the line over the top, and then the alignment rods. It's easy to get. I'm assuming. So for the folks who now are very interested, I know there will be thousands. Tell them where they can go and find one of these and how they can go about getting it.
yeah. So we have our website, touraimgolf.com.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we got you can either buy the Tour Aim itself or with the alignment sticks. We got a couple great bundles. We're also doing a offer that with an indoor golf facility that we teamed up with. You get a free online lesson with them with every purchase, so that's a nice little bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's that's kind of the big thing there. We're also going to be launching into some more brick and mortar stores, but for right now we're online, and that's the best place to get it. So.
And folks, all you on the mark tribe, not saying you can get yours with a cool logo like mine does, but Noah is being really cool and saying, well, if you use a discount code, you can get yourself a discount code on your first purchase. Please share that.
Yeah, you can use on the mark 25. That's ONTHEMARK 25, and for all your listeners, you can get 25% off your first purchase there. So
come on, folks, go and do it. If folks want to follow you, because the one thing about our audience, they're informed, right? And we voracious learners, all of us, and everyone wants to do better. That I know for certain. And when you find something or someone that works, you want to sort of see if there's anything else coming. So how can they follow you? Do you have social media or website they can go to?
yeah, we have a lot of great content on Instagram, just at Tour Aim Golf.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of great juniors, top amateurs, and even PGA Tour players that have posted and shared content. And that's another cool story is kind of the tour experience or insight that we've gotten. Just being in business for a year, it's we've the likes of Sean Foley and Mark Blackburn, and just had Max Homer using it, and Justin Rose, and a bunch of European tour players. And so everybody sees the benefit of it, and it's been pretty cool to see them
Yeah, the one
get going on there.
Yeah, one thing about those tour guys, you'll start to see you're seeing them already, and they'll start popping up all over the show, and everyone will use it because, again, folks, and this is the teacher in me. Practicing is one thing. Practicing appropriately is another. Practicing with purpose, if you will, and if you can nail down the absolutes, the alignment, your swings play, and all those sorts of things, you got half of the battle won, because it's so hard to swing the club consistently anyway. And then if you start with misalignment and such and seeing the target wrong, then you're basically starting on the back foot.
Yeah, yeah. Every shot starts with aim and alignment, and every lesson you've ever taken starts with tell me where you're aimed and aligned.
Yeah, what are you actually trying to go towards?
Yeah,
No, I love this thing, folks. I'm going to be using it as soon as I get out to the golf course. I'm going to make sure I'm aligned properly. Lord knows what I'll find, and I'll put some of the videos on social media too. Thank you so very much. This thing is groundbreaking for as simple as what it is. I love it. It's easy to use. It's easy to get. Folks, go and use the On the Mark 25 too, so you can get yours. Noah, this is cool. I'm looking forward to the future, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this. You're onto something really, really special here.
awesome, great. Well, thank you very much for having me, and yeah, look forward to talking soon.